In my previous video, Incorrect Wiring Number 1 Three-Way Errors, I showed one way in which a double station switch, that's what you would probably call a three-way, could be wired incorrectly. In this video, I'll show one way in which a triple station, or you would call it a four-way switch, could possibly be wired incorrectly and show the results affected by that mistake. Before I do that, let's review diagrams of correctly wired double station, three-way, and triple station or four-way switches. These are the same diagrams that I use in my electrical switches video series, but they will suffice here. Okay, here's configurations for your double station switch setup, or you would call it the three-way setup, okay? In other words, here you have a double station or three-way switch set. You have two double station switches here, or you'd say two three-way switches. Now, these configurations give you two on settings and two off positions. I've showed this before, and you can pause this and study it if you want to. But with your three-way switches, that's what you call them. I call them double station switches. When you have a pair of those, a set of those, you get these configurations. This is what you get. Okay, I've showed that before. Now here's the triple station configurations. That's what you would call four-way. In this switch set, because it's a set of switches, you have a three-way here. All right, you have your four-way and another three-way. When you see a three-way, there must always be another three-way. Okay, I call them double station switch, but you can call it a three-way if you want to. But there always has to be two of those. So here you have the line side switch in the up position in each example. And that yields two on settings and two off. I showed this before, but this is just a review. All right, your line side switch is up in each of these four examples. All right? Now here the line side switch is down. Okay, your line side switch is your, what you would call a three-way. I call it a double station switch because in these switch sets, double means there's always two of the so-called three-way switches. There's always two of them. So here with the line side switch down, you get two on settings and two off. All right, so if you combine those with the four that you get with the switch in the up position, all right, you have the four in the down position, that yields in total four on configurations and four off configurations. That's what you get. All right. Now, what happens if someone wires this switch set incorrectly? Okay, here we have an example of a triple station, you would probably call it four-way switch set, but it's wired incorrectly. Okay, here's your first switch, your three-way, that's what you would call it. And here's your other three-way. And here's your four-way. All right? Now, what happened here was they took the traveler here and they correctly wired it to your four-way. Let's say that's your black terminal 1, all right, your traveler terminal 1. But here they took the white traveler conductor and attached it to the gold traveler 1 terminal on the four-way switch. Okay, that is wrong. Now over here, they took the white traveler conductor and it's attached to the traveler terminal on this three-way, and it's correctly attached to the gold traveler terminal on the four-way, but this red traveler conductor coming off of your load side three-way They connected it to the black number 2 traveler terminal on the 4-way. That's hard to say, so bear with me. And you see that this is incorrect. And this is incorrect because what happens here is your line side, okay, where you get your power, the current flows, and it doesn't matter which position the toggle's in, up or down. It doesn't matter because let's say it's up. Well, if it's up, the current goes this way, right? Terminal to terminal, goes on the conductor and goes back to the other terminal. The power, the current can't move to the other side of the switch set. You see, it can't get through no matter what you do. Let's say over here the switch is up, right? And switch is down, it doesn't matter. There's no connection here. There's no way for current, right, from this side to move over here and energize your load side. So this is definitely incorrect, and you can see clearly why it won't work. In other words, if you have a 4-way switch set in your, let's say your kitchen, and the lights don't work at all, there is a possibility that this incorrect wiring, all right, has happened during installation, okay? Now, let's say you have the same 4-way switch set, all right, triple station switch set, that's what I call it. Let's say you have that. Now you have the same thing as this, only your 4-way switch is in the down position. So you get this connection here, right? Now, if you have that, you see that there is a way for current to pass from the line side, all right, over to the load side. There is a way, all right? This is your 4-way here, and the switch is in the down position. In other words, the switch is in the position here that it is not in here, okay? Now you look at this, you study it, and you see when this switch set is incorrectly wired, okay, it's incorrectly wired, you can see that right here. And the triple station switch or the 4-way switch is down. The switch set functions just as if it had been wired correctly. It'll still function. It'll still function, whereas you saw that this will not function. This will still function. But what's the problem? Well, 2 on and 2 off switch configurations are forfeited. They're forfeited. In other words, here's your switch in the down position, all right? Your line side double station or 3-way is up. Your load side double station or 3-way, whatever you want to call it, is down. So the switch is on. You can see that here. It goes like this, switch up, it goes across, over here, switch down, and your light goes on, right? And here's the other 3 configurations. In other words, you get 2 on states and 2 off states. You get 2 on, 2 off. But ordinarily, with a correctly wired 4-way switch set, you have the possibility for 4 on states and 4 off states, okay? That's confusing, but I tried to make it clear with the diagrams and the explanation. If this is wired incorrectly and the switch is up, nothing happens, ever. If this is wired incorrectly and your 4-way switch is down, all right, the opposite position of this, you still will have switches that work, but only to a degree. The functioning will be there, but it will be limited, okay? So ultimately then, we end up with my new switch names, and here's the old switch names. And you can see my other videos how they explain this. But I do think my new names are much, much better than the old, or you would say contemporary or traditional. But the point is, I'm trying to show that you can wire your three-way switch sets or your four-way switch sets incorrectly, and sometimes they will not work, and sometimes they will actually work, and they will fool you. You will think, well, it works sometimes, so it's okay, but actually it is not, and that's it. Okay, so thanks for being incredibly patient, and I hope that helps you figure out some problems if you ever run into this with your three or four-way switch set. Good night.